This is Jeff again here at 5901 Southeast Snowberry Court here in Hillsboro. Okay, so we started out at the front left corner of the house. It says you face the front of the home from the street. We are now just outside the sliding glass door here. Both cleanouts are at the front of the home. They're at each corner. We started at the front left, now we're at the front right. At this point here, I have turned the water off. And I'll turn it back on if it's necessary for flow purposes or to keep the camera lens clean, but lots and lots of water's been down this thing at this point. This one's very shallow here. I just looked into the clean out there and you're just at 6 inches or so below the surface. So transitions into cast iron right out of the gate. Yeah, actually we're gonna yeah, there is construction debris in here. Alright, I got some water turned on here so you can see we've got some, what looks like, I think the house was recently remodeled. Unfortunately it happens. Someone pulls the toilet so they can do some flooring and remodeling work and debris falls down through the open flange. Alright, there's where we swap to 3034. Then we're going to probably see that offset joint here fairly quick. A little bit of standing water on that turn there, but we'll see. There may have been debris sitting in the line. But that one there is even significantly more minor than the one that we saw over going through the other clean out. That one we just went past there, assuming that it's indeed standing water and not a debris dam right now. That's going to be maybe a foot or so of pipe with probably only about a 1/4 inch of water in it. Maybe a little more. Alright, we should be approaching that offset here in just a second. And it'll also give us a little better gander at it. Coming into that on the other clean out on a turn, it's just not as easy to get a good view of it. Alright, here's where we swap to ABS. This is where the splicing is, where the two lines come together, and then the offset's right in front of us right now. Alright, we're going to turn the water off here. Alright, water's off here. It's going to take a second to drain out, but while that is happening, I just did I double checked the locate. This is a much better orientation for locating a straight-on shot. And I'm picking it up in the exact same location. It is marked with a red X. Normally I use green. The paint supplier sent me the wrong color, so sorry about that. But you'll see a red X there right next to where the garbage cans are stored. It's under dirt at 3 feet deep there. Alright, the line should be drained off here at this point. Now, there's enough gunk there, you don't really get much of a view there of the offset. I am going to locate right here, though, really quick. As this section of pipe here, it looks like altogether dropped. It would all be in the same repair site. It's only, you know, probably a 3-foot span of pipe here is all. And here I'm getting about 2 foot 8 inches, so it's right in that 2 foot 8, 3 foot deep realm there. Anyway, recommend that section there, that piece of ABS be corrected to put back proper slope and grade, get rid of the offset joint. It's amazing too. Normally by the time that the slope of this property is honestly what saves the day here. The property provides natural slope and grade. Typically by the time you're out 80, 90 feet, you're pushing 6, 7 feet deep typically. 90 feet is about oh, good 30-40% longer than the average sewer line. So usually by the time you're 90 feet out, you're at a main lateral. So at 2 foot 8, 3 feet deep under just pure dirt, that's pretty awesome in the world of sewer repairs. All right, we're going to come back in here and take a decent gander at the cast iron. And they updated quite a bit of this. Not all of it, but they got quite a bit of it done. Now, you've got that big chunk of debris just past that turn right now. That's where it looks like it's made it to thus far. So I do recommend jetting to get that junk out, because my concern, especially with an offset here, is it's going to get hung up down there at some point. Either way, just to be on the safe side, I'd blast that junk out. The cast iron here, you do have evidence of channeling in the flow line. What's hard to tell right now is how much of that is related to scale getting carved out, creating the illusion of channeling, or just pure channeling. Channeling is where the metal gets eaten away. The flow line there is looking a little bit pitted, though. So at the least here, what I'd recommend is a thorough hydrojet to descale all the cast iron. The channeling does not look so deep that the line is just at the very last, breath it's going to take. But you definitely get a better view of the condition of the cast iron, the actual metal, once you strip all that rust layer off of there. But I think, realistically, you're going to have a decent result all said and done. That scale buildup just creates for rough, jagged conditions that make it much more likely debris is going to hang up in the line. In fact, you can see the scraps of toilet paper and whatnot that are stuck to it right there. You can imagine those rougher conditions, that's why I was referring to. You take that same belly that's under the staircase down there and you put it in an old rougher pipe material like this, your likelihood of getting a blockage goes up, very significantly. The coupling effect of those two things together. So, and you need to make sure you're jetting. You've also got, looks like a wipe rag, something like that in there too. So, the line could definitely use some jetting. But you need to make sure that jetting is being done in conjunction with a camera. Blasting the objects loose, knocking the rust loose is the easy part. It's ensuring you get all the rust out of the sewer line, or the overwhelming majority of it anyway. You can't always expect to get every little piece of rust out, but most of it. Otherwise, what you can end up doing is making a worse situation. I've seen a lot of scenarios where people jet too quickly, they're not using a camera, and they leave gigantic piles of rust sitting in the flow line, and it created a much bigger flow problem than it started with. So, anyway, before I completely pull out here, I'm in a reverse direction. It feels like it's necking down to 3-inch pipe as we go backwards there. I want to make sure you don't have any more construction debris back in the line here. Now going backwards under the house. All right, not seeing any signs or any further debris here. Well, it looks like everything got pushed out to the outside. Alright, we're going to go ahead and reel back out there. Interior stuff like this, especially in a crawl space, is not the stuff I typically focus on because it's generally exposed piping that you can see. The home inspector takes a look at that. That was just from the standpoint if I started to see any evidence of other trailings of debris back in there. But it looks like everything was able to at least flow out to the outside. Anyway, as an overview here, I recommend a hydrojet to clean all the debris and scale buildup out of the sewer line. That needs to be done in conjunction with a camera to ensure cleaning is done correctly. Also to do a follow-up scope just to show the work in general. It would be ideal probably to do that after the repair is done to make sure that the offset joint is not hindering the ability for that debris to clear the sewer line. And it's a lot of times stuff like that can get stuck at those joints, even with a jetter, depending on what it is anyway, the debris. And then I recommend a repair there at the offset joint. It's really about a 3-foot section of pipe there, that ABS section where the tie-in happens. I recommend that be corrected to fix the offset joint. And then again, on the other video, that's where I talk about the belly under the staircase. That one, again, is too minor in my opinion. You know, considering the diameter of the pipe material, but also the overall just appearance of the line. There's very little to no buildup there. So little I can't recommend you even clean it. And then furthermore, it's underneath a concrete pad support for the stairs. It's an extremely expensive repair to do, and you'd be spending considerably more money repairing that has a less chance of causing a flow problem than you will fixing the offset joint. So all those things put together, it's just one that doesn't make sense. Ideally, there's no belly, but there's just not enough going on there to warrant that level of cost and effort, in my opinion. The plus side too is that line services the smallest portion of the house as well. So all those things, you know, just treat the line properly, and it's highly unlikely that spot there would ever cause a problem. Just make sure you do rescoping after any cleaning and or repairs that are done. You want to do your rescope on the repair after the trench is closed, otherwise you will not catch any settling problems that may occur like you currently have in there. That pipe there probably looked absolutely perfect until they buried it and put weight on top of it. That's when you want to do your scope on it.